My outdoor tomatoes have been magnificent. I've got about a dozen or so plants here, trained up these metal spiral supports, which just give each plant enough support to keep it upright. Growing these as cordons, so if you see any side shoots develop, you can snip these off just to leave the main shoot growing. And the dilemma you've got once you get through to late summer, and I'm moving through August now into September, is just to think, how much longer are these plants going to go on growing? Because they're getting taller and taller, producing more and more fruit. So this variety here is called Crimson Crush. It's a blight tolerant variety. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got about 5, maybe the 6th truss growing, and I don't want to be too greedy. If I go on letting more fruit set, the chances are that the season won't be long enough for them to mature. I've also got quite a good crop already. I've got lots more tomatoes down here still to ripen. So from the middle of August, how much longer have I got of good weather conditions which are going to ripen these tomatoes? So I'm not going to be too greedy. I'm actually, where I've got this top truss here, I'm going to go up 2 more leaves and they're going to take off the top of that plant. I know it's still got some more flowers developing, but I think this year I'm just going to allow the plant to ripen up the crop it's already got. These fruits down here are already a decent size up for picking. I'll just show you one of these here. So you've got some really good sized tomatoes on this plant, and I'd rather all of these fruits ripen up than just try and get a bigger crop and end up with green tomatoes that I've got to harvest and bring indoors and ripen indoors. So you've got to make a judgment call. How much longer do you let the tips of these shoots develop? Do you let them go on producing more and more and more flowers? Do you just wait and see? Just let them grow as big as they want, and then you'll just harvest whatever crop your plants produce? Well, for me, I think I'd rather be in control. So rather than letting go on producing more and more fruits, where you've got the topmost fruits already set in the middle of August, I'll go up another leaf or 2, take out the tip of that shoot, and just let the plant ripen up the crop it's already carrying. And here's another plant here. Actually, this one's just carrying such a big heavy crop that even though it's on a metal spiral support, that is just weighing it down over towards one side. So I'm going to again take the top of this plant off just above the uppermost crop there. I might just try and readjust this in a minute and see if I can get it to stand up a little bit more upright. But as we can see here, really good crops of fruits developing, some here ready for harvesting. So as soon as the red fruits at the bottom are decent size, these can be harvested and brought indoors for cooking. This plant here needs a little bit of support. Yeah, I think with this little side shoot in here, whip out, growing as cordons, you just want that one main stem to develop. So again, on these metal supports, you can just spiral the top of the shoot into that to hold it upright. Got some little side shoots here coming. Now I've got 1 truss of flowers here, and I think I'm going to call it a day there and take this tip of the shoot out and just let the plant ripen up the crop it's already carrying. But further down, you can certainly remove the leaves up to the truss of fruit that's developing. I've gone down here, but if you think that the fruits have been covered too much, no harm at all in taking off a few of the lower leaves themselves. Here I've got 1 truss in there, got another one ripening up around this side. So as I say, on the main stem itself, any side shoots, take them off. Any new side shoots which you see developing out, give them a little pinch. But any lower leaves which you think are getting in the way, you can remove those completely to make sure you can see the fruits which are swelling up nicely here and soon be ready for picking. Now I'm mainly growing a blight tolerant variety called Crimson Crush outside this year, which produces really nice chunky fruits. In previous years I've grown Mountain Magic, again an excellent outdoor variety, and at the moment showing no sign of blight at all. I've tried this year a new one, smaller fruits. This is called Crocchini, which again has got good blight resistance. The foliage is looking good, the fruits so far no sign of blight at all, and you're getting these nice long dripping trusses of small cherry sized fruits, taking a little bit of time to ripen up outside, but these will ripen up and give me a good crop. And being blight resistant, I'm hoping that this plant will stay healthy. Again, down here I've got a few side shoots developing on the main stem, so those need to be picked off just to make sure all the energy is concentrated on that one main stem. Now, to keep your plants healthy, two important things: watering and feeding. So in terms of feeding, about once every week or fortnight I'll get my high potash tomato fertilizer, mix it up in a watering can and give each plant a really good soak of high potash feed. That is important. And in between that, watering too. If you've had a lot of heavy rain, even that might not have soaked right the way down into the root zone. So I give each of these plants a really good drench of water, perhaps a couple of times a week. Just literally stand with the hose next to each plant, let the water really soak down. You're not just sprinkling water up and down the row and wetting the soil surface. I want to make sure that that water soaks deep down into the root zone. So just holding the hose in place for a count, maybe count to 10, count to 20, let that water really drain down, then move on to the next plant. Again, hold it there, count to 10 slowly, let the water soak right the way down. That's the way to water outdoor tomatoes. If they go short of water, then not only will that affect the yield of your fruits, but also it can encourage a problem which is mainly due to erratic watering, which causes a lack of calcium, which is called blossom end rot, and that can cause these little dark brown black patches to develop at the blossom end of the fruit. You can get it on your greenhouse tomatoes, you can get it outside, and that is due to the plants drying out, then being re-watered, and running out of water can cause blossom end rot to develop. Particularly starts when the fruits are very small and that little brown spot gets bigger and bigger as the fruits mature. And the other thing, of course, that erratic watering does, it means that the skin of the tomato can start to thicken up, water runs out. When you water again, the fruit swells and the skin splits. So if you've got split fruits, again, it's due to erratic watering. So the answer: regular watering, good heavy drench of water to make sure that your plants don't go short of moisture, and guarantees you some really good crops of fruits to enjoy.